Welcome to EVE Online, I'm Major Freak. This is Planetary Interactions, and I've just planted a new colony. Planted one at Zeal 1 already. One sec. And I'm just finishing up the inputs from the silo to the industries. Otherwise, it's all set to go, and then I'll move on to Planet 3. Plunk down HQ at the poles. I like to do that because it's easy to get to the poles, especially when you have multiple characters on the same planet. You can easily go to the pole, click see others networks, see your own HQs for the other characters, and go, okay, I'll plant it. I usually like to plant it in a so they're not overlapping, so I can click each one and just make sure I'm not screwing up, like overlapping and picking the same spot to mine from. That's what I like, to spread them out over the entire planet, so each one has their own zone. And I do try to avoid other people's. I saw somebody's right here, so it's the biggest concentration of noble metals, and it looks fresh, so it possibly unsubbed character or somebody who hasn't done it for a very long time. Alright, so I've got it down. I won't go through the intricacies of placing it. I'll do it for the next planet. There's another Baron. I've got one more in my nearest. It's cloaked up right next to the Poco right now. I don't need to be. The first planet I did, plunking down and doing the whole thing while I was in dock ring of the station. It was Planet 1. It's at Planet 1. Yeah, it's close enough, right? This one I cloaked up right next to the within 250, between 2 kilometers and 2.5 kilometers, so I can cloak up and access the Poco eventually later. But for Planet 3, what I'll do, since it's the last one in my cargo hold, I could have easily plunked each one on each planet at the pole, plunked it, upgraded it, gone on the, just plunked it actually, plunked it, set it, go to the next one, plunked it, set it, go to the next one, plunked it, saved it, set it, saved it, whatever, and then gone to station. And I believe I'll try docking up and doing it, because I'm pretty sure I can fiddle with all this stuff while I'm docked up. It's the only times you need to be at the Poco is picking up your stuff. That's it. What I'm going to do for the third one is I'll plunk it down, the HQ. I won't bother upgrading. I'll just plunk it down, build it, and then dock up, and then work on it. And you can do that for all your planets. You can plunk, 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 plunk. Make sure you save, of course, and then take off once you've used all your stuff, dock up, and start working on your planets. And when you need to export your stuff to the Poco from your launch pad, what you do is you just undock in a frigate that's cloaky. It go anywhere and cloak up anywhere. It doesn't matter. As long as you're in system, you can cloak up anywhere. And then all you do is you export from your launch pads, and then you go get your hauler, and you go to each bookmark. I like to make a bookmark just between 2,000 and 2,500 meters, and that way I can approach that spot, and if need be, while I'm picking up my planetary stuff from the Poco itself, and all I'm doing is going from one bookmark to the other as quick as I can, because I've done everything else. It's all in the Pocos ready for me. If I see somebody, I can just cloak up, and that's one character. If I have multiple characters, I get a bit way more fancy, and those videos usually get the most trolling, vicious comments, which is pretty funny. It's like, pretty much explained it, but thanks. But yeah, so let's get on with it. So I'm just missing the inputs for the station, and I direct all the outputs from all this except the final one. I put the final one into the spaceport, but I have everything else outputting into the silo, so then I can just go to the silo, and I can see all this stuff, base metals, and I can go freight route, and base metals is over here. I typically do it a bit differently, but the actions I'm doing are the same. Then I go here. Whoops, input. There we go. Always pick the highest number of that, and then, and because that one's the incoming. There we go. So that's those, all four taken care of. Now all I'll have to do is put the precious, and you just need to do one. And the reactive. There we go. Voila. This part's the simple part. And I want to show you the hard part because it's very unintuitive and it trips up a lot of people. If you watch, I'll describe the problems, and if you want to, I'll put in the link to the unlisted video. It's about an hour and 15 minutes. I do a lot of stuff. I do 2 other accounts on this, just resetting their stuff. One guy moves his extractor once on one planet, but those 2 characters quickly done, and then I move on to Anarchist, and I have to basically buy a hauler, buy the planetary command centers, go to a low sec system, and start doing this. And I did 2 planets, and at the end of the second I figured I wanted to start talking about this, and so yeah, there you go. It is all done. Everything's kosher. There's not a red X. I like to do 2 weeks, and so in 2 weeks, 1 day, I'll come and check it out, because I'd love to have the red X. It tells me if I'm forgetting something on a planet before I move on. And you have so many bloody planets, so yeah. There we go. Cloaked up. Yeah, it's weird. I tried to get the same distance underneath, and it was just I was from the 2.3 kilometers, and it's not allowing me to cloak up. It's probably something to do with this weird. It's probably just cosmetic, so I just moved. So I would like to move to the bottom and have that option, but it's didn't allow me to, so shite. I don't like that, but whatever. Baron, let's go to planet 4. Whip over there. Oops, silly me. You are not in the covert ops.
Warp drive active.
Okay. So what I do is I warp. Hello. I'll make the bookmark later. But yeah, let's just do this. Just assume we've done it for everyone. So we'll go in. Whoops, sorry. Can't talk and do something at the same time. So I'll go to as far high as I can, spin around. There we go. Show other players' networks. None of my characters have anything here yet. I'll place it right there. It's easy enough. Come on. There we go. And submit. And I'll exit out. And I'll go to the next one, plunk them all, then go dock up. You know, that's safe.
Active.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So I'll go here, and I'm gonna have to shift money over. It's cost about 4.2 million for, yeah. So I'll give 5 million.
Docking permission requested.
And once you planted it, there's no real fee for maintaining it, except when you get the fees for if you want to input or import or export anything from or to the POCO. That's it. You can lower it by 10% with a tax per level. Yeah, 50% off kind of stuff. All right. so we're upgraded. And alright. I think you can get away with not doing it yet, but unfortunately, in order to plant down extractor heads, you have to submit the extractors control unit. So you can't go all the way. So it's kind of silly. So I like to make mechanical parts, and they use noble metals and base metals. And base metals are usually the biggest concentration. What I like to do is have my first triangle for scan right here on this line, and the other one on the other line, like so. That tip right there, there. So right here, and it gives me the best of both worlds. I've found, really. So your noble metals are usually going to suck, so that's where you go to first, because you'll always find base metals. So this is really nice right here. I don't see anybody's... Oh, wait. Let's see now. Do I see anybody? The best way to do it is to make it white, and then you can really see it easily. I don't really see anything there, so that's pretty cool. Let's go back. And what I will do is build it so I can place the extractor head at the very edge and still have an orbit outside. So that would work right here. That would be perfect for that. So I'm going to place it here. I could place it here if I want, but you like to put it in as crescent, of course. It looks like a crescent, go with a crescent. Alright, and we go to base metals, and we build another one. And that, the best spot, you don't want to go too far. I usually like to go about here. So I'm going to pick right here, because why not, right? So right there. Okay. And what I do is I make a link right here. And then what I do is you have to submit it. It just have to. There you go. It doesn't allow you to plant any of these, which are kind of critical in your calculations of what you can get away with. So noble metal. And I can usually get 3 base and 7 or 8 extractor heads. So I'm going to put down 7. There we go. And always 2 weeks. And I leave it for a week, 2 weeks, and sometimes if I remember it, but I don't. I build fuel blocks, and I've discovered that I can barely touch this network, and it will have way more than I need for ingredients for fuel blocks. Yeah, right? So it's a very relaxed planetary interaction I teach. And if you don't prefer it, definitely search for others, because I've seen them. They're very intense one-day extractions, and they get really into it, and they make a lot of money. Iskies. And I just couldn't be arsed. I was just, forget it. No way. So yeah, if you want to relax, keep watching. Alright, so the last 2 planets I had it here. You'll notice I've made the install this one right here, right above the start, so that way when I'm doing my 2-week 1-day restarts, I can just come back and click this, and then it'll be the option to restart the network is right there, and you just double click basically and you restart it and you move on to the next one. That's great. Love that kind of stuff. So there we go. So there's a reason I put this link here. I'll explain it really soon. So what I'm going to do is put in 3 2 week. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 1 sec. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so I've got the silo. I place it down. This is the first thing I place. And I place it down on this link where it says 00, and I just place it right here. Oh, sorry. Right there. See, I don't have that icon. I don't really look at the actual orb. I look at the plus sign. Get it right on the... Right, that crosshair. Just treat it like a crosshair. Bam, like that. I'll need 4 basic, 1 advanced. I've already got the silo. I need 1 launch pad. And what I like to do is I'll put the launch pad on one side. Go the crosshair right over that line, like that. And I'll get the advanced and put it on the opposite side, right there. And then I put the basic stuff. I put the one with the highest density closest together, like tightest, highest density, and then I spread it out for low density. Just it's an easy way of understanding which basic industries are which, because you've got 2 types, and you just want to quickly identify them if you want to. The way I do it, you don't really need this, but it bloody well helps. Alright, and I usually like to keep the launch pad, I think, if I remember correctly, on the side of the less dense, the noble, and then the advanced on the side of the more dense, in this case being the base metals. So, submit. And what I do now is I decommission this link right here. And then I just go click. 1, click again, click again, click again, etc., 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 etc. There is absolutely no savings in the longer these are. It doesn't matter. It's completely linear. I used to think it was the longer it is, the more power the longer a network needs, exponentially more power is needed. That's the assumption I had, which is untrue. It's just completely linear. So if you can make the straightest line, there you go. And if you have it in too tight, it's hard to click on. I used to try to cram them together in the thought of I was saving power, but no, you don't. So there you go. It's all set. Bam. Okay. So we've got the extractor heads going. We've got everything set. I don't think I can get another extractor head in. Might. Ooh. Sweet. All right, so I've got 275. Another extractor costs 550. Okay. So I can't do it. If I wanted to, I could stretch one of my links really far. Like, say I could stretch this sucker if I wanted to get to another source. I would stretch it by 275, so I could stretch it by 275. So I could take this, I could go to power, 275. I could go, it's a small planet. As you'll notice, your bigger planets, you can't go very far with the links, but 275 is a long way on this planet. So that's a long way. Yeah, it's pretty small. And funny enough, yeah, it's interesting. There is so little difference in the planets except for your link costs that I haven't really detected any difference yet. I don't do enough PI. I hate it. But over the years, I just haven't noticed it. Anyways, so there we go. I've gotten another. and I'll place it. It's interesting. See, the best I can get is 75, and if you're here, you'll get 0. But if you find you're right here, you'll get 50. You'll lose about 50% of it. No, actually less. Maybe 25%. I suck at math. Sorry. If you go here, you'll get 50% more than if you were here. That's true enough. That's the limit of my math skills. So it's not absolutely critical. You must get it in the white, because as you can see, the white is 77. This is 63. It's not off by a lot. Don't sweat it. So there we go. Yeah, voila. Nice and neat. Saving a lot of power, because on other plants you just won't have the leeway you have here. I might not have been able to get 8 extractor heads, install extractors, sorry. Right, so let's get this routed. The first thing we need to do is route this stuff. So this is the route thing. You gotta click here, and then click the silo. I advise the silo highly. We're gonna pretty much be putting everything except the final output through the silo. Place it here. Okay. So we've got our 2 extractor control units set. They're good to go. We're going to submit that. And now you have no contents present, but you have incoming a lot of noble metals, which will peter off pretty quickly, and the base metals. I might think of putting in a 4th here and a 7th, a -1, +1 here. But I've done the math, and this tends to have more duration or endurance for giving out the peak than the less dense. So for now, we're going with that. I'll test that theory in the future, trying to remember that this is the character I was testing on. Alright, so we've got the inputs to here. What we're going to do now is we'll work on outputs. So we go here, get the mechanical parts. It was selected for us because I've already did mechanical on the last planet. So we just do install, and we do see this? It's telling you where do you want the output for it. And I want the final output go to the launch pad. Done. So that's one. It's yellow in the middle, but it needs the outer ring is red. It needs the input. So next we go, and it's easy to talk about it because the closest together is the base metals. The farthest apart are the noble metals. It helps, especially if you get distracted and you forget which one is which. So it helps. All right. So we're doing outputs. I'd already selected precious metals and best. So let's go over here so I don't have to redo it. And see, it's pre-selecting the destination for the product. We then go click here. Great room. Then we click again. And we go install, and it'll pre-select where we want to go. It'll pre-select the product route, and then we'll click the silo. And then we'll click here, and then what we'll do is we'll click reactive metals right here, click install, and it'll pre-select the output, the route, and we'll click on that, and we'll click this one, and we'll go install. It's already pre-selected, and we don't have to deal with this. It's already pre-selected for the route. Click here, create route. Okay. So now we've done all the input, the output routes of all the industries, basic and advanced. All we need to do now is the input. So let's start the input. So base metals are coming from here. We create route, and there, and then we do that again. we select the incoming, the larger number. It's easier to see the larger number than, you know. So create route, and then we click here, and then we create route again. Yeah, gotta kind of, yeah, I'm making it look easy, but it can get screwy real quick with how many clicks you have to do where. So whoops, wrong one. Then we go nodal metals, create route. Click once, click that again. Incoming. Oh, sorry. There I go. See, I was assuming that I was going to auto-populate where I was going to go. So there we go. Create route. Done that. And then we bring up precious metals coming from these two, and we're going to place it in here by create route. We go down and go reactive metals, which are coming from these two. We go create route, and we click here. We create route. See? So when we're doing the outputs, it'll auto-populate the do you want to create a route icon. When you're doing the inputs for the industry, you pretty much have to go click, create, click, create, click, create. Okay, so when you're clicking here, when you're clicking this button, it'll auto-populate once you select, auto-populate the route selection icon when you use this button. But when you're using this button, you have to create the route and then click on it and then create the route again to confirm. So you're missing out a couple of clicks here and there, and it is confusing. So I'll let you know now. It can get really frustrating, but once you understand this concept, it will keep you from stumbling, because if you start to stumble, you'll make more mistakes, and then the mistakes will compound, and you'll throw the computer out the window and rage quit and can have your stuff. Okay, we don't want that. All right, so there we go. Done completely. We'll open this up and make a check. There's no red mark through this, so everything's good. It's happy. We're happy. We've maxed out as much as we can the power. There's really nothing else I can plant down. I don't think I can plant another. Yeah, see? So there you go. It would be nice to be able to simulate this, so you could put it down and then it would tell you you're over by, you can't complete, you'll need to decommission it in order to continue. It would be nice to be able to do that, so it would tell you, oh, okay, you're over by such and such. You'll have minus power or minus. Well, I've never run on a CPU yet, but yeah, it powers the big thing for me for these easy field block buildings. It's always the power. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully that was helpful. If you want to see where I'm screwing up, there's the unlisted video I'm gonna link, and you can watch. I make a few mistakes. So as you watch how I do it, you'll go, oh, okay, yeah, he accidentally clicked there and he had to re-click it and fix the problem. But yeah, I do. There's a lot of errors because I haven't done this in a while. I try to do it so rarely. Yeah, building new colonies is a pain. All right, done. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully that helped. And in the future, I'll look and tell you guys whether or not I was right about being able to place 3 and 8, whether this works. It's a bit, I'm going to guess it's a bit toppy heavy for precious, a little bit, but it won't be filling up quickly. I'm going to guess.